Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. Tonight's topic is
Revision. So Mel, what's revision?
It's basically rewriting the story. You're rewriting something that happened. You're recreating it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So how do we do revision?
That is an
And
question.
Also, explain how you can change something that's already happened. I think we should address that first.
I think that's great. I definitely think we should. So basically, what is an event that has happened? It's a memory.
It's a memory.
It's a memory. It's in the past, so to speak. Even though time is not linear, as we've discussed, everything is, all we have is our present moment.
Right.
So everything in the past is a memory. Everything in the future is a dream, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm. Or a fantasy.
A desire.
Yes.
But all you really have is your present moment. So if something occurred, say since one of the most popular topics is SPs, say you have an SP and they said something that you didn't like. And you were like, oh no, you didn't. So you go back, you can revise in the moment or you can revise after the fact. In the moment, if you're having a conversation with your SP and they're like, I don't ever want to see you again. I don't love you. I don't want to be with you. Something along those lines. You can be sitting there while they're saying that. And in your head, you can be like, oh, he loves me so much. He just adores me. He wants to see me every day. Oh my God, it's so annoying how often he wants to see me. It's almost smothering. You could think anything along the lines of, he is in love with me. He wants to be with me. He just wants to spend all his free time with me. And he could be sitting there telling you the complete opposite, but in your head, nope, you love me. You love spending time with me. You want to be with me. And so in the moment, that is that revision.
Yeah.
For that, it could be for anything. You could, if you got, I actually did this one time with a bill. I had a bill and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to pay my credit card. And so I had to call them and I had a late fee and I was like, I'm going to call them and ask to have the late fee waived. So and this was before I even knew what revision was. So while I was calling, like dialing the number, I was like, I don't have a late fee. I wasn't late on my payment. I wasn't late. And I had no idea. I mean, I was very clearly late and all of that. Like I knew I had the statement showing that I paid, like I hadn't even made the payment or something like that. And I called them and I was like, yeah, I just want to, I got this late fee, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We're having issues with payments being processed. I'll take that right off. And everything was fine. I gave them the payment right over the phone. And they were like, no, it was our fault. You didn't do anything wrong. We're going to take that late fee away. You're all good. And I was like, wow, that was
nice.
Awesome. So it's as simple as that.
I love that. I actually have a somewhat similar story in that I actually didn't revise in the moment. I revised like a year later. So here's the thing. Because the past only exists as a memory, it only exists in imagination, it can be changed just like the future can. Mm-hmm. So one of my affirmations was, I always get what I want. Right? I always get what I want, right? I think that I started affirming that after the incident that I revised. So what happened was there was a job that I had applied for that I was sure I was going to get because the guy in control of hiring basically asked me to apply for it. Like he wanted me in that position. So I thought I was going to get it, but after the interview, I had a lot of doubts, and I would keep affirming, "No, I got the job, I got the job, I got the job," but I still kept having doubts. And at the time, I thought that I didn't get the job because he told me that I didn't get the job. A year later, I was thinking about that. And, by the way, I didn't have any experience for that position. I was not at all qualified. So let's be clear. I shouldn't have had that job. I think that's why I had a lot of doubts. So anyway, a year later, I was remembering this, job that I had applied for and that I didn't get it. And I was like, wait, I always get what I want. So I must have got the job. I definitely got the job because I always get what I want. Literally a day later, I get a call from my boss at the time who says, oh, you need to contact him again. He wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay. So I hadn't talked to this guy in a long time. I called him up and I was like, hey, I was told to give you a call. And he's like, oh, yeah, I wanted to let you know about some positions that were available. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, that one that you applied for last year. And I was like, did I get that? And he's like, oh, we made a mistake. You need to apply for that again. And I was like, what? It was literally the day after I was like, well, I must have got that job.
I can remember you calling me and telling me that story. I knew that was what you were going to share.
Yeah.
I remember that because you're like, oh my God, that was a year ago.
Yeah. He's like, I made a mistake. Literally what they said to you, I made a mistake. So when you revise, someone clearly made a mistake because you got what you wanted, right?
Exactly.
So I just love how that worked out. But when, a year later, I actually didn't want the job anymore. So I didn't end up going for it again. I just decided, I actually don't want to work those hours. But I thought it was so funny how I was like,
nice.
I must have got what I wanted because I always get what I want. And I think it helps when you give your subconscious a reason because of this.
Yes.
Which is one of the things that we said when we talk about ask-formations. Mm-hmm. When you ask a question, to follow it up with because so-and-so, because affirmation, because that gives your subconscious a reason.
Exactly.
It validates it.
Yes.
It's like providing proof. So that's like probably my favorite revision story.
Mm-hmm.
I have revised other things, revising in the moment like you did for sure.
Yes.
Like someone telling me that my pizza was going to come not for an hour and a half. And I was like, oh, it's going to come a lot sooner than that. And then they showed up 15 minutes later.
How many times have you and I done that when we've ordered food?
I mean, I do it a lot of time when I'm picking up orders.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So practice revising in the moment and always decide that you always get what you want.
Absolutely. We always do.
Yes. So I think that's it for revision. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I feel like that pretty much covered it. It's really simple.
Yeah, I would like to say that, like, in addition to revising in the moment or using affirmations or your thoughts, you can also script. I revised my childhood through scripting.
Yes.
I wrote out the new story, and I would just write it every day as, like, reinforcement because I felt like that story in my mind was something that I had been telling for 40 years. And so maybe I needed to work on that a little more. Maybe I didn't. But I felt it couldn't hurt to repeat it.
Absolutely.
So scripting is another way that you can revise. Basically, you can revise using SATs. Yeah. Any manifestation method you can use for revision.
I like that you pointed that out because that's true. Like, it doesn't just have to be affirmations or ask-formations.
Yeah.
You can do it in the moment. You can do it after the fact. For me, sometimes in the moment, I don't even think of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the moment. I'm very present. And so after the fact, then I'm like, I don't really like that. I'm going to go fix it.
Yes. So, like Mel said, you can revise in the moment or you can revise later. You can revise something that happened years ago. You can revise something that happened 1 year ago. You can revise something that happened yesterday. I'm going to revise a text message that I got today.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, as I was just about to say, this story. So I had... it was probably close to a year ago, not quite a year ago now, something happened that because of a friendship that I had, somebody got angry about it and they took something from me. They took basically my life savings, a very, very large sum of money. And so I decided that I was going to revise it. One of my blanket affirmations that has... I kid you not, this is no exaggeration. It has worked for me every single time I've used it. So I don't have any doubts it'll work this time. My blanket affirmation is nothing is ever lost or stolen. I never lose anything. Nothing's ever stolen from me. I've had things where it seemingly was lost or stolen and it came right back. Mm-hmm. And so this is no different. So this is kind of like for everybody out there to experience. So I had lost this very large sum of money. I have not received it back, but I got myself in the moment. When it first happened, I was very angry, very upset. And you can remember Me repeating that old story very, very passionately about how upset I was about it. And what did you tell me?
That nothing's ever lost or stolen and you have your money.
Yes. And you said, you just have to remember that it's yours. And by divine right, you will have it back. And so, today, what is today? This is, this video will be airing very soon, but we're, towards the end of March.
March 27th.
Is it 26th or 27th?
Well, this video is going to come out much later. But
yes, much later.
Yes.
So in a future video, I will be sharing as a success story that I received that money back. And I really do actually believe that I'm going to get it very soon.
You already have it, girl.
Thank you. Yes, I do. I love you.
I love you too. So I think that's it for revision, unless you had something else.
No, I was just going to ask if any of you have ever revised anything, and what was it? Share that story. Share something maybe that you're in the process of revising.
Or, yes, if there's something that you want to revise from your past that you wish it had gone differently, drop your new story in the comments below. Let's hear your revision.
And then share. That's what you got.
Yeah.
Your success stories.
Absolutely. So, also, please like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget, keep manifesting that dream life.